Good morning, second year. Welcome to the online session of Surveying Part 2. Today, we will be starting with the unit number 2, which is geodetic surveying. Starting with this geodetic surveying, I hope when we started with surveying, there are majorly two parts of surveying when we consider the area of a survey. So, surveying is broadly divided in two parts. One is plain survey and second one is geodetic survey. In plain survey, if your area is less than 250 kilometer square, if your area is less than 250 kilometer square, then that survey will be categorized under the plain survey. And if your area is larger than 250 kilometer square, then that survey is categorized or classified under the geodetic survey. Now, what is the basic difference between plain and geodetic survey? So, second year, all of us are knowing that our Earth is having a parabolic shape. Our Earth is having, let us say, a parabolic kind of a shape. So, if we keep the instrument at one of the position and the point is at another location, whatever the line of sight that we have, that is not exactly straight line. It is parallel to your mean spheroidal Earth surface. Okay. So, if we consider the curvature of the Earth while taking the observations for the surveying, that survey is called as geodetic survey. If we are considering the curvature nature of the Earth while completing the observation for the surveying or while doing the surveying, that survey is called as geodetic survey. And if we are not considering this curvature of the Earth, then we'll call the survey as plain survey. Did you got it? The difference between geodetic survey and plain survey. In geodetic survey, we have to consider this curvature nature of the Earth while taking the observations. So, these are the two main classification of the survey, in which for unit number 2 we will be focusing on geodetic survey. We will be focusing on geodetic survey. So, second year, when we consider the geodetic survey, our area should be greater than 250 kilometers square. So, if you look at towards the area, extensive and large area, when we have to go for the surveying part for the same kind of area, then we have to do the geodetic survey. In geodetic surveying, we have to consider the larger area. Now, to complete this geodetic surveying, as the area is large, we require some advanced and modern techniques, or we can say methods, to complete this particular survey. For example, I will be taking 2 points, point A and say this is point B, and by dotted line I have joined the point A and point B. The distance between point A and point B, let us suppose this distance is something, say 15 kilometers. Let us say this distance is 15 kilometers. So, by using normal measuring instruments like chain or tape, it is not feasible to draw or to measure the distance between these 2 points, point A and point B. Please consider that point A is having some dense population and point B is having again some forest kind of area. So we unable to visualize point A and point B. From point A, point B is not visible, and from point B, A is not visible. So in this case, how one can measure this distance 15 km? It is quite impossible. It is quite difficult to measure this distance. But by considering this as a geodetic survey, we may able to measure the distance between point A and point B. What I will do is, at point A, I will be considering a platform which is called as a towers. I hope all of you have seen the mobile towers which is used for the signaling, right? So same kind of a platform I will be constructing at point A and at point B. Suppose here I will be considering the second tower. Okay. Now considering these two towers, fixing up the heights, finding out the suitable points or location for the construction of towers. From point A, now point B is visible because this point B is just taken at a higher elevation as compared with the previous one. Previous point was onto the ground, but if you consider the point B, if you consider the a different image, let us suppose that earlier it was my ground level. Say here it is my point A. Say here it is my point B. But when I have constructed a small tower to intervisibility between point A and point B, so what happened? This is the first tower. Say this is the second tower, and I have taken a rise, or we can say at a higher elevation, these 2 points. What is the reason? To understand or to have a better intervisibility between point A and point B. Unless and until we will see A from B and B from A, we unable to find out this distance. So for the intervisibility between point A and point B, why? Because earlier this is my ground level and this distance is almost say 15 to 20 kilometer, and as I said, point A is having some buildings, having some dense population area, and point B is having again a wild forest, or it is again not visible due to the some trees. Now in this case, as I wanted to know whether it is 15 kilometer or 20 kilometer, I would not be able to measure the distance, because when I stand at point A, I should not be able to see the point B, because there are some trees, there are some obstructions are there. So to clear the visibility, what I have done, I have constructed a tower at point A. The same thing, I have constructed a tower at point B, and then by using the advanced instruments like total station, any digital or laser level, I may be able to calculate this distance between point A and point B. Okay, so this whole thing is called as your geodetic survey. Second year, in the 1945, we are having a topographical map. What is topographical map? Survey Department of India have the whole country, and they have found the positions of natural properties of ground, like the Himalayan is having highest altitude, the Ganga river starting from this point to another point, and this area is covered with the forest, this area is covered with the, say, vegetation cover. So likewise, all the properties of the ground is found out in a topographical map, and that map is created by using this geodetic survey. So you can consider that a bigger area is to be considered always for geodetic survey. Okay? Now, so this is the geodetic survey. So let us start with the actual terms involved in the geodetic survey. Now, second year, let us suppose that our whole country is to be taken for the surveying, which is in the, we have to consider as geodetic survey. So what we are doing is, the whole country is to be divided in number of points. The whole country will be divided in number of points. So geodetic surveying can be done by two methods. One is triangulation, and second one is precise leveling. For our case, for unit number 2, surveying part 2, we have to focus on the triangulation. What is triangulation? Now, in the triangulation, your area is divided in number of triangles. Your area is divided in number of triangles. Let us see. This is your first triangle. Here, this is your second triangle. Whole of your area is divided into number of triangles. Why? Because why triangle, second year? So if you consider this triangle, say triangle A, B and C. Triangle is having a property that if we are knowing one angle, say angle A, and if we are knowing one side, say the distance is D1, and this angle is theta. So by knowing one side and one angle, we can able to find out the remaining two sides. We can able to find out the remaining two sides by sine rule. Isn't it? By using this method, by using this formula, we can able to find out the other two sides. D1 into sine theta. D1 into sine theta. That is the formula. That is the formula to calculate the other sides. So this is the main thing, or this is the main purpose behind taking the triangle for the triangulation purpose. Okay. So in a triangulation, number of triangles are connected with each other, and in number of triangles, one side, suppose say AB, and the first angle, say this angle A, is precisely measured by using the advanced instrument. Distance AB, say D1, and this angle, say theta, is very precisely measured. Here, to measure the angle, we will be using either total station or the electronic theodolite with 1 second accuracy. and AB is measured again by some laser levels or some digital levels. So there is very less possibility of error. So AB is measured, the theta is measured, and by using the sine rule, we may be able to find out the remaining sides. So this is the main purpose for which we are going to use the triangulation. What is triangulation second year? Triangulation is nothing but dividing the whole area into number of small and bigger triangles. Once you have divided the whole area into small and bigger triangles, just find out AB distance and find out angle A with precise and advanced instruments with very accurate method, and then by using the sine rule, calculate all the remaining sides. So this whole thing will be called as if your triangulation. The whole thing is called as a triangulation. The line that we are going to check, that we are going to measure, say in this case it is AB, it is called as your baseline. The first line AB in a triangulation system, that we are going to measure very precisely by using some advanced instrument, that is called as your baseline. And we go on finding out the calculation by using the sine rule. On the field, what we have to do second year? On the field, we have to measure AB and we have to measure this angle. That's it. On the field work is measure distance AB, say it is d1, and measure the angle, say it is theta. Whatever the remaining work is to be done by using your calculation of sine rule. So by using the sine rule, suppose this is my last point, say P and Q, and this last distance is again measured, which is called as check base. What is this thing? Second year, in the contouring project, what we have done, we have started from the benchmark. We have taken the first reading on the benchmark. We took some change points and we have completed the whole area by using auto or dumpy level. And at the end, when we completed all the area by taking the observations of levels, at the end we have kept the staff again on the benchmark. Means the starting point and the end point of our project is same. Why we have done this? To confirm our calculations whether the starting point, which is a benchmark, and the end point, which is again a benchmark, will be having the same error, whether both are having the same error. So in this case also, we have measured AB starting point, we have measured the angle. Remaining sides we are not going to measure because we are going to calculate it by using the sine rule. Okay, but after calculation, to check whether the calculation is correct or not, we will be measuring PQ, we will be measuring the last line in the triangulation system with the same accuracy, with the same precise instruments, and we will call it as a check base. What is check base? Check base is nothing but to check, to confirm, to cross check whether your calculation is correct or not. So this is the baseline, the starting point, starting line. By using this baseline measurements, we are going to calculate by using sine rule all the remaining sides as well as angles, and the last line, let us say in this case it is PQ, that will be again measured by the same precise measurements and calculation and actual measurement, whether it is correct or not, that we have to check. Okay, second year.